Dogs have been our loyal companions for thousands of years, sharing our homes, our routines, and even our emotions. But what does it really mean when we say that dogs listen to us? Is it just about responding to commands, or is there something deeper at play? A unique form of communication that transcends words and reaches into the very core of the human-animal bond. To begin exploring this question, imagine the average day with a dog. You wake up in the morning, and there's your dog, waiting eagerly by your bedside. You utter a simple word, perhaps walk, and instantly their ears perk up, their tail wags, and excitement fills the room. But dogs do more than just recognize words. They seem to understand tone, intent, and even our moods. This is not by accident. It's the result of a remarkable evolutionary journey that has shaped the way dogs and humans interact. Thousands of years ago, the ancestors of modern dogs began their association with humans, drawn by the promise of food, safety, and companionship. Over generations, dogs that were better at interpreting human behavior and responding appropriately were more likely to thrive. Today, science has shown that dogs are among the most perceptive of all animals when it comes to understanding human communication. They pay attention not just to the words we use, but also to our body language, facial expressions, and even subtle cues like where we point or glance. But do dogs truly listen to us in the same way another human would? The answer is both yes and no. Dogs don't process language as humans do, but they are incredibly skilled at associating sounds and signals with specific outcomes. When you say sit, your dog isn't necessarily understanding the dictionary definition of the word. Instead, they have learned that this particular sound, when spoken in a certain tone, means that if they lower their hindquarters to the ground, something positive will happen: a treat, praise, or affection. Yet the story doesn't end with simple command and response. Dogs have an extraordinary ability to read human emotions. Studies have shown that dogs can distinguish between happy, sad, angry, or neutral human faces, and they often adjust their behavior accordingly. If you arrive home after a difficult day, your dog may approach more gently, sensing your mood even before you speak a word. They can detect subtle changes in our voice, our posture, and even our scent, which changes slightly depending on our emotional state. This sensitivity to humans is at the heart of what makes the relationship between people and dogs so special. When we speak to our dogs, whether in commands, encouragement, or casual conversation, they are listening not just to the words, but to the emotions behind them. This is why so many dog owners feel that their pets truly understand them, often better than anyone else. Training plays a significant role in how well a dog listens to its human family. Consistency, patience, and positive reinforcement are key. Dogs learn best through repetition and reward, associating specific sounds and gestures with actions and outcomes. But even without formal training, dogs pick up on the rhythms and routines of our lives. They know when it's time for a walk, when you're preparing to leave the house, or when you're about to settle in for the night. They listen not just with their ears, but with their eyes, their noses, and their hearts. Some breeds are especially attuned to human voices and emotions. Border Collies, German Shepherds, and Labrador Retrievers, for example, are renowned for their intelligence and responsiveness. But even the smallest, most independent dog is capable of remarkable feats of listening and understanding. It's not just about intelligence. It's about the bond formed through trust, love, and shared experience. Science has delved deep into the question of canine listening. In one fascinating study, researchers found that dogs process human speech in a way that is surprisingly similar to humans themselves. When dogs heard familiar words spoken in a positive tone, their brains showed activity in regions associated with reward and pleasure. This suggests that dogs are not only capable of distinguishing between different sounds and tones, but also of connecting them with emotional meaning. Moreover, dogs are excellent at picking up on nonverbal cues. If you point to an object, your dog will often look in the direction you indicate, understanding that you want them to pay attention to something specific. This ability to follow human gestures is rare in the animal kingdom and is thought to be a direct result of the long partnership between dogs and people. But what about when dogs seem to ignore us? Every dog owner has experienced the moment when a dog, engrossed in sniffing a particularly interesting patch of grass, appears to tune out everything else, including your increasingly urgent calls. Is the dog willfully disobeying, or is something else happening? In most cases, it's simply a matter of competing interests. Dogs live in a world rich with scents and sounds that we cannot perceive. Sometimes the lure of a new smell's just too strong to resist, but with time, patience, and the right motivation, dogs can learn to prioritize their human's voice, even in the face of distraction. Listening is a two-way street. Just as we want our dogs to listen to us, we must also learn to listen to them. Dogs communicate in their own ways, through barks, whines, body language, and behavior. A wagging tail, a lowered head, a playful bow. These are all forms of canine communication, and it's our responsibility to pay attention. When we take the time to listen to our dogs, we deepen the bond between us and open the door to even greater understanding. There are countless stories of dogs demonstrating extraordinary listening abilities. Service dogs, for example, are trained to respond to a wide range of commands and cues, assisting people with disabilities in their daily lives. These dogs can alert their handlers to sounds, retrieve objects, or even sense the onset of a medical emergency, such as a seizure or a drop in blood sugar. Their ability to listen and respond is not just impressive, it's life-changing. Therapy dogs offer comfort and companionship in hospitals, schools, and disaster areas. Their gift is not just in following commands, but in sensing when someone needs a gentle nuzzle or a calm presence. They listen with their whole being, offering empathy and support in ways that words cannot express. Even in everyday life, dogs show us the power of listening. A dog waiting patiently for its owner's return, a pup cuddling close during a thunderstorm, an old friend resting its head on your knee. These moments are reminders that listening is about more than just hearing words. It's about being present, attentive, and connected. Technology is beginning to unlock new ways of understanding how dogs listen to us. Devices that translate barks into human language, apps that help train and communicate with pets, and studies using brain scans to observe how dogs process human speech are all expanding our knowledge. But at its core, the magic of the human-dog relationship remains rooted in something timeless, a shared willingness to listen and understand. So, what can we do to help our dogs listen better? It starts with building trust. Dogs respond best to calm, consistent, and positive interactions. Shouting or punishment can damage the bond and make listening more difficult. Instead, focus on clear communication, rewarding good behavior, and being patient as your dog learns. Use simple words, gestures, and routines to help your dog understand what you expect. Remember that every dog is an individual with its own personality, preferences, and learning style. Some dogs may pick up commands quickly, while others need more time. Celebrate progress, no matter how small, and keep training sessions fun and engaging. The more you invest in your relationship with your dog, the more attentive and responsive they will become. Listening is not just about obedience, it's about mutual respect and understanding. When you speak to your dog, pay attention to their response. Are they excited, confused, or anxious? Adjust your tone and approach as needed. Over time, you'll develop your own language, a unique blend of words, gestures, and shared experiences that belongs to just you and your dog. In the end, the question, "Do dogs listen to you?" is both simple and profound. Yes, dogs listen. Sometimes in ways that surpass our expectations, sometimes in ways that challenge our patience. They listen with their ears, their eyes, their hearts, and their instincts. They listen not just for commands, but for comfort, for connection, and for love. Our dogs teach us the value of being truly heard, of paying attention to more than just words. They remind us that listening is an act of love, a bridge between worlds, and a source of endless joy. So the next time you speak to your dog, remember that they are listening, not just to what you say, but to who you are. In their attentive gaze, their wagging tail, and their gentle presence, you'll find the answer to the age-old question. Yes, dogs listen to you more deeply and more faithfully than you may ever know. As we continue to share our lives with these remarkable animals, may we strive to listen as well as they do, to each other and to the world around us. For in listening, we find understanding, compassion, and the unbreakable bonds that make life richer, fuller, and more meaningful.